Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's House, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're all enjoying the wonderful Newburyport Yankee homecoming week. What a great time it is to be in Newburyport, and we've had good weather so far. It's all kind of been pretty smooth, and just, I don't know, I've spent a couple days walking through, and there's just so much to do, so much to see, so much to eat, and so much to buy. It's it's just a great festival vibe. I really enjoy it. Live music, all that stuff. And here's a man who's a big part of it. Frank Bertolino is in the house. He's the president of the Lions Club, and if you look closely at like so many of those sponsors, you guys have your hands in a whole lot of this over there, don't you?
Oh, Mike, I'll tell you what. I've been a Lions Club member for 44 years.
Wow.
And we try to get involved in everything. Some of it's fundraising, but a lot of it is not. A lot of it's giving back to the community and helping people where we can and how we can. And and Yankee homecoming, hey. It's the best.
Yeah, we had the mayor on the other day, and he's a hometown boy, so he said because since I was a kid, I've always loved this time of year. It kind of brings out the best in Newburyport people, right?
Oh, positively does. I grew up in Salisbury. I graduated Triton in '73, and I raised my kids. I have 4 kids and 10 grandchildren, and we all get involved, and we look forward to the Yankee homecoming.
Yeah, it really is. It's that thing on the staple that just kind of. You can't miss thing for so many people. So it's a great time of year, and obviously the weather helps. This has been good so far after that rough July. Wow. I mean, I can almost see you saying, "Don't jinx it." A couple days left.
Yeah, right. Well, as you know, Tuesday night too, we had the road race.
Yeah,
and but the weather couldn't have been any better.
Yeah,
we had about 2,600 runners. It was just an incredible turnout, and the community comes out. Big time for that.
I saw it was all over my my Instagram feed. It seemed like everybody I knew was here checking that thing out that night, and it kind of that night. That kind of like a little fall feel almost. I know it's scary to say that in August because I'm a summertime boy, but it was perfect for running, which was great. And of course, so tonight was one of the I think I'm safe to say one of the more popular events is the bed race.
Oh my God, it's crazy. The amount of people that come out and the block parties and everyone's lining up. It's a lot of fun, and we've been doing this for so many years. I've lost track how many years we've been doing it.
Tell people from out of town what the bed race is, how did this kind of unique tradition start? Because people are like, I'm sorry, they race beds. Explain it more.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they race beds. Some people do it for time, like the fire departments, the police departments, and the Coast Guard. They bang on their chest and they run as fast as they can. Some of them do it that way. A lot of people just do it because it's fun, and they decorate beds. Yeah. And someone's in the bed and they run and they push, or they drag them along, and all decorated. And we've had everybody from dressed as kings and queens and princesses, and down to people adults in diapers, and just everything. And it brings out, if I had to guess, 2,000 or 3,000 people on Federal Street.
Yeah.
And it lasts an hour or so, 2 hours. We'll have anywhere between 10 and maybe 15 beds. In fact, last year we had some pretty good celebrities that showed up, and it was the that home show where they fix up homes. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
Oh, is it Fixer Upper?
Something like that. They did.
I'm not good with this.
Either am I. I don't remember what it was, but they did some pretty big some fancy bed.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of fun.
And it's not just the you say it's like an hour or two of the race, but it's not just the race. It's like if you go down you got people tailgating and people grilling in the houses and people having parties, and like it just creates that atmosphere.
It really does. And it's another way to bring people together, neighbors together, and family coming in for the evening. It's friends coming in for the evening. It's just another great, clean way to have fun.
And almost every one of these things that I've experienced post-COVID takes on kind of a sweeter feel now. I don't know. I think people, when these things went away for a while, or at least, the versions of them went away, scaled down, whatever it is in your life that, the gatherings were different. Coming back full force, it just feels so much sweeter now, I think.
Yeah, positively. It's funny, we meet the Newburyport Lions Club, we meet the second and fourth Monday of every month at the Starboard Galley. We get there around 6. Dinner starts at 6:30. Meeting starts at 6:30. And we hang out twice a month for a couple hours. COVID hit, and some of our members are older, and a lot of it is kind of like their own. They're 2 nights out a month.
Yeah.
And we have other members that a little bit younger, and it's social time, it's fun time. COVID hit, and boy, it took that away.
Yeah.
We started doing it through Zoom, and I hate that word Zoom now. I mean,
I'm good if I never do another Zoom call.
Man, I'll tell you what, isn't that the truth? And so we did that, which left out, a lot of the older members because some don't even have computers.
Yeah.
So it kind of drew that wedge in there, and people lost their piece of their lives. Now that that's gone, and we're back again, and we're getting together again. I mean, my goodness, Lions Club is just another way of getting together and giving back to community.
Yeah, it's so true. I think anybody relates to that with whatever it is that they treat in that kind of aspect of their life. I actually had a question come in from somebody who knew I was going to be talking about the bed race today. We'll go to the phones. The question is, has anybody ever fell asleep in one of the beds?
Not that I know of. And boy, I'll tell you what. If you fall asleep in one of the beds and the Newburyport Lions Club bed race, that's we gotta change things.
Yeah, it's a loud atmosphere out there, and you're moving. Do you remember who won last year for time?
I don't remember. It was I don't remember who it was, but I'll tell you, they're pretty darn competitive.
Yeah, Coast Guard and Fire. I always jump out as very competitive.
Oh God, Coast Guard, Fire, and Police.
Police, yeah.
Big time competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've all won titles, right?
They've all won titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a few restaurants do really well, and as well, which kind of hurt last year. We didn't have as many restaurants last year because the health problem.
Yeah.
And I hope that changes this year.
Yeah.
Because they get pretty darn creative.
The restaurants do, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a big part of Newburyport, and there's restaurants all over the place. It must make you guys all very proud to see, I'm from Danvers, and this is my second home, I say. But I know, I just love walking around here and just seeing everybody so happy. I had breakfast outside at the Paddle Inn over the weekend, and I remember thinking, it's right downtown Newburyport. I'm sitting there. They have this nice outdoor seating, which I think was a COVID invention, if I remember.
Yes, it was.
They kept that, so that's one of the things that they kept from COVID, which is nice. But I'm literally petting dogs as they walk by. Dogs all over the place. People, families, kids, adults, everything. It's just like it's a family affair in every possible way. And I was like, this is the sweetest thing ever.
Oh, positively. Newburyport, we're blessed, first of all, with everything we have in Newburyport, and but Newburyport is that little special feel. When you drive in, you park your car, and you start walking down, and you're walking down the street, and hey, how are you today? Hello. It's we have that.
Yeah.
And you walk into a shop, and it's not just someone standing behind a counter looking at you saying, okay, what are you going to do today? It's, hey, how are you? What can we, it's special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we had to do a few things for charities, I remember back in the day. We had to raise a lot of money. And again, this is like people know me more in Danvers. That's where I grew up. I've been living there, most of my life. But this is my last 8 years of my life has been my second home. But we needed to raise money, and I remember going around and literally walking into all these shops in Newburyport and knocking on doors and making calls or whatever. But I literally walked right up Main Street, right up and down, and tried to see what you do for this cause. I was blown away how giving and how helpful businesses were here, like above and beyond,
Yeah.
I remember at one restaurant I went to, I'll just say the restaurant because it was just very nice, but I remember the Port Tavern I went to, and the guy, it was COVID, and they had run out of gift cards because that, believe it or not, was not a big thing during COVID.
Right.
It's like, I haven't reordered, because of COVID. So he goes, here's one. God, it's only $50. I want to do more than that. Literally said, wait right here. Went into like the attic, dug up an old gift card, and like gave us more. And I ended up with 2 gift cards, and I was just like, Dad, how about that, right? In every place I went, shops, we were given dresses for gift baskets and, whatever it was, you name it. I can't thank everybody for all that stuff, but it was just, I remember thinking to myself, this is like the most generous strip of any downtown I've ever been.
And that's what, I think Newburyport realizes that we are family, even if you come from out of town.
Yeah.
You're here for the day, so you're family, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's the car pulls up front, you put the coffee pot on.
Yeah. True. Yeah. And, I was interviewing a lot of people here on Sunday, the first day of the Yankee homecoming, and I've talked to a whole lot of people that weren't from here. I mean, I'm Manchester, New Hampshire right now, Exeter, New Hampshire. I talked to a couple Kittery, Maines. People were coming from all over New England, really.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing, I think.
Oh,
let's
face it. I'm going to say a bunch of years ago, it was, let's go window shopping. Let's go hit some restaurants. And, it was, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was, let's go to Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Now it's, when you hear that, it's, hey, let's go to Newburyport. I'll get calls from friends that say, hey, look, we're going to be in Newburyport Friday night. Let's get together for dinner. It's not, they're not calling saying, let's get to dinner. We get together for dinner. Where do you want to go?
Right.
It's, we're going to be in Newburyport.
Yeah.
So, positively.
No doubt. And I actually think, to it, again, being a Danvers boy, I was like, I can't believe I didn't come here more. Like, we would always go kind of like Beverly, Salem, just because that was felt more natural. But then, you look at the time it takes to get to Salem. I could get to Newburyport in the same amount of time.
Right.
Salem, only 2 miles away, but I don't know, the roads it's a little easier on the highway and the Salem back roads, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, and right off I don't know, just a great slice of the world here in Newburyport. Lions Club a little bit. I think a lot of people maybe don't exactly know, and they see the Lions Club all the time. They don't exactly know what's being done over there. What is the goal of the Lions Club on a daily basis, and this year, I guess.
Sure. It's kind of funny. It's I'm really passionate about Lions Club.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like I said, I graduated Triton in '73. I went in the military right away. I got out 4 years later, a bit of a troubled vet, Friends from church were Lions Club members. Back in that day, you had to be invited to be a Lion. You just couldn't say, hey, I want to become a Lion. So they kind of took me in, and that's what changed my life. And I've been a member 44 years.
Yeah.
What we do back in that day, it was all vision. It was all about eyes, and we raise money. We're the largest service organization in the world. We're all over the world. We raise money to, on that end of it, we raise money for eye research. And in Massachusetts, we give about $1 million a year to different scientists and organizations that do research. And it's the seed money to that they can prove a fact, and then they can chase after the big stuff. So that's how we started. Now we've really branched out. I mean, from hunger to disease to vision to hearing, all of that sort of thing. But that's just a little piece. Every club, even like our club, we give at least half of the money we raise back into our community. Thing about Lions Club, the Lions Club and the International is all run strictly off our dues. No money comes. Any money we raise, 100% of what we raise goes towards charities.
Wow.
And you don't hear that often. You don't hear it very often at all. So I mean, that's what we do, and it could be something as simple as a family got burned out and needs a little bit of help. It could be someone needs to get into mass eye and ear. We can normally help for emergencies like that. It can be. We have vision machines. We have machines that help people that have sight impaired that can help. It's a funny story. Probably 10, 12 years ago, we brought a machine into a household. The lady, probably 80s, in her 80s. And she said, where would you like it? She told us where we'd put it. We got it all set up. We explained to her how to use it. What would you like to see first? She says, I'm told there's a picture of my latest grandchild on a little table over there. I've never seen it. We brought it over to her. First time she saw her grandchild.
Yeah.
Okay. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's moving stuff. Yeah. What's that machine? That's pretty incredible.
They're amazing machines, and they run big money. Anybody who needs a machine to help them see, do a checkbook. We have people that used to knit can, and they'll use it for knitting. They'll do it for their personal stuff. They're reading newspapers. You can't if you're completely blind. It doesn't help. Nothing helps. But for the people that are just sight impaired, huge difference. And if you need one, we go through a slight application process. And we bring it to you. It's no cost, no charge.
Technology is unbelievable.
Then when you're done with it, we take it back, refurbish it, and get it out to somebody else.
Wow, that's a moving story there. Somebody seeing the grandkid for the first time.
Oh yeah, and I think we have in Newburyport alone. I think out there right now we have 7 or 8 of those machines.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. When you mentioned you're a troubled vet coming back, was it you looking for kind of one of those displaced, looking for a group, looking for a home to find your footing, or what?
No.
If you're comfortable telling this story.
I was married. My wife was a vet as well. We had a baby on the way. Going from military life to civilian life was, for me, was a bit different.
Yeah.
And
for so many, right?
There's so many, positively. And that was back in '77. So it was vets were looked upon as very nice people back in that day.
Yeah.
And so it was that transition. And it's funny, back in that day, and I don't know how so much is now, but you go to the VA back then, and they'll give you medication.
Yeah.
Take 2 of these a day, you'll be fine. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Where'd you serve and where, or for how long?
I was in for 4 years active,
Yeah.
6 years in reserves, and I've been everywhere all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, all over the world.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
As well. I know the Lions Club. How many are veterans, would you say, in the Lions Club? Is it
I'm going to say probably 30 to 40%.
30 to 40?
Yeah.
So good crew.
Good group.
But maybe not the majority, though, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people do think it's like a very military-based, or at least a lot of it. There's a lot of you, but, not all.
It's funny. My wife and myself, she's a Lions Club member as well.
Yeah.
And we, life is so busy sometimes.
Yeah.
That might be the only date night you have that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. So when you do the Lions Club meetings, is it like literally one big party? You're talking dinner and.
Yeah. We're talking, dinner. You're hanging around, and you're talking, you're joking, you're having a good time. And you have dinner. You go over requests for money. You go over on planning the next event.
Yeah.
All of that sort of thing.
You always got to stay ahead, right?
Always got to stay ahead.
Yeah. But really, I think probably the one thing you're noticing from this interview, if you're watching at home, is that so much of this is outside in the community, though. You guys, you like to be seen along the racetracks, and you like to be seen at the 10K races and the parades and all that stuff,
Yeah, Sunday night, we sponsored the Lions Club sponsored the Benaramo, at the waterfront. And we had to set up a table, a little information.
Yeah.
And which Ben's just phenomenal if you ever listen to him. But he, it was getting out in front of people.
Yeah.
And funny, someone walked up and handed one of our members, here's a $100 donation, handed him a $100 bill. Here's a donation, use it for wherever you need.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't asking for donations.
Yeah.
But it's
just people recognizing, I think, the work you do, right? And just I want to be a part of that.
Yep.
Those are sometimes the best donations, aren't they? Sometimes people don't think it's such a small thing, but it's like it's a very nice unexpected gesture, and that'll go to good use. I think.
Yeah, positively.
Absolutely. What's the? How about you? I mean, is the bed race your favorite thing, or do you have some sneaky other? Do you like the music or what?
I love the bed race. I really do. I'm the chairman of it, so I just get one end of it. The start. I don't get the finish, but I like that. Honestly, I think what do I like the most? I suppose, what I enjoy the most is when we vote, to give the food pantry $1,000 or something like that. That, I think, we get the most satisfaction. And the meetings are always fun.
Yeah.
We pick on each other. Oh my! For a stranger to come in and they'll say, "Oh my God, they really like it," but we're like brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I don't know if you heard the mayor story. He told me that back in the day when he was a kid, he used to have to. I guess the way they used to do the bed races was that he would have like a timer, a stopwatch, and the race would start, and he would jet down to the end of the race and get that to the finish line, and then they would know.
Yeah. We're a little bit more technology now, but it's not that much more technology. We have the stopwatches down at the end. We use walkie-talkies now and say, ready, set, go. And click it. But it's it takes probably 12, 14 members to do it. And
I bet.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite memory of a bed race pass? Is there one year, I don't know, maybe it was a bed, maybe it was a wild finish, maybe it was something on the sidelines, I don't know.
I don't think I have one special memory of a bed race. It's every year is that little bit different.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what I look forward to every year.
Each year has its own story.
They really do. They really, really do. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there? I know so many of these things. I mean, probably at this point, part of you feels like it's a well-oiled machine, but I do know from experience these things are not the easiest things to put on.
Dude.
There's always something that comes up at the last minute. And
there's almost always a tire coming off. Something like that happening. Oh, positively. Yeah. There's always something that goes on, and or a bed can't stop down the end.
Oh my goodness!
It's those sort of things. It's
oh, that's a good story. Yeah, I never even thought of that because I usually don't hang out at the end. But yeah, I bet those things must be kind of tough to put the brakes on.
Oh, but I'm sure they get really cooking,
man,
because they don't have brakes.
Yeah, no, they don't.
It's kind of like the Fred Flintstone. Put your feet down.
Yeah. That is too funny. Well, yeah, no, I mean, you guys do a heck of a job because it is a lot of work to put on. What is the hardest? Is it more the planning in the months leading up to it and getting logistics, or?
I think the hardest work of the bed race is just the night of, and it's really not hard.
Yeah.
It's just everything happens within an hour. You get everything. Tonight, we'll be there at around 4, setting things up.
Yeah.
The beds will start showing up around 5.
Yeah.
And getting them all lined up and checked. We inspect them, by the way.
Oh, you do?
If you're going to shoot, if you're running for time, we have some guidelines you got to go by, the size of the wheels and that sort of thing.
Does it have to be a certain weight?
It doesn't have to be a certain weight, but you can only have, I think it's 5 people pushing, and that's what, one person in the bed. So we go through all that. I think that's the hardest part and the most exciting part about it, up our end, the start end, is the looks on everyone's faces.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of look around, you see all the little kids looking, and it's pretty cool.
It is cool. Yeah. I love watching the kids at that thing too, because it's one of those things as a little kid you're just like, what am I watching again?
Right. Definitely. Positively.
It's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Well, Frank Bertolino, man, this has been a pleasure as always. Thank you guys for all at the Lions Club that you do for this week and making this week such a memorable experience for so many, myself included. Like I said, I've already had a couple of great days and plan on doing at least 1 or 2 more here by the time the week's out. But have a great night at the bed race here. I know it's going to be a blast, and I'm sure you'll be inspecting these things all afternoon. And
we'll have a great time for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything. Anything you want people to know here last minute as far as the final few days of this thing go, or what?
Yeah, I think so. Tonight, show up, come, enjoy. Don't be shy, but also if you want to get involved, and I'm not just talking the bed race, but in Lions Club, we meet the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month. We get there around 6, dinner starts at 6:30. Please come and join us and see what we're all about. We're always looking for new people to work beside us, and for us to all become make our family a lot bigger. And some strength, this strength, power and strength, and numbers, and that's what we. The more people we have, the more we can do.
Yeah, go read up online too. There's a wealth of information. I know if you're curious, I know you heard a lot about the charities and all that stuff, but if that's something that interests you, go do a little deeper dive, huh?
Positively. Reach out to me, give me a call as well. I'll be happy to meet you, have a cup of coffee.
There you go. Good man. Frank Bertolino, thank you, sir. President of the Lions Club. Big thank you to Maeve Power running the show today. She's been busy this week with a lot going on in the city and putting this show together and, dealing with me, who is not the easiest person to deal with sometimes, I'm a little all over the place. Thank you, Maeve. She's got a great spirit about her, so appreciate you. Thank you, Sarah Hayden, the boss, and the rest of our small but mighty Newburyport team here at NCM Hub. Frank Bertolino, have a great rest of the Yankee homecoming. Same to you, everybody. Go out there, enjoy the day, enjoy the nights out here. It's a blast in Newburyport right now. And happy August, all right? We'll see you all soon. Peace. Live at Drew's house.